Hello everyone, welcome to Kaushalam Foundation. Kaushalam Foundation is an NGO conducting an online course on PDSR, process of death and selection of rebirth. Once again, welcome to you all for this online introduction session on PDSR. It is an ending of known and beginning of unknown. First of all, I would like to say thanks for all of you for your kind support and cooperation for our first online program called SFC, Synthesis of Fundamental Creativity. This is the first online program through Kaushalam Foundation NGO we have started, and we have received a very good response from all of you. And now the third batch of online program we are conducting. So, and this is the second program called by name PDSR, Process of Death and Selection of Rebirth. So this is the research work by Dr. Chandra Mouli, MS. Almost 3 years sir took to develop this concept by name called PDSR, Process of Death and Selection of Rebirth. What actually this? Especially what happens during the process of death process and how the selection of rebirth will happen. Regarding this, Dr. Chandra Mouli MS has done the research and developed this thesis, and we are conducting this program as a online PDSR course. So with respect to that death, this is the poem in Kannada. The same thing, the poem in English is, in death, there is the role of inertia with essence and function. This truth is revealed if one moves from the nature of essence. This realism happens if the function moves in the format of action. What is solidified by inertia will become reality for everyone. Maya's work can be found in the actualization of reality. It is for this reason that one has to awaken awareness along with brilliance. From intelligence, one must observe pure consciousness with Turiya consciousness. So this is the English poem designed by Dr. Chandra Mouli on death. So let us understand what exactly the truth, what is action, what is the reality, what is inertia, what is essence, what is function, what is Maya. So we can understand. With respect to the death, so lot of books are already available in the market. Some of the top books are Deepak Chopra ji has written the book called Life After Death. This is one of the amazing book. And Dying to Be Me by Anita Moorjani. So this is one of the book. And Dr. Brian Weiss has written Many Lives, Many Masters. So amazing book. And The Loss of the Spirit World. This is also one of the amazing book. And Life After Life, written by Raymond A. Moody. So this is also one of the amazing book about the death. And in this book, they have explained about the NDE, near-death experiences and all. And the Don G has written the book called 90 Minutes in Heaven. Means he died in a car crash, and doctor also declared he died, and after 19 minutes again he come back, and in those 19 minutes what happened. So he has written that. So like that, lot of books are available in the market. It's all about before the death and after the death. So before the death what happened, and after the death will have what happened. So based on those theories, so these books are in the market available. But today what we want to discuss with you about the process of death is about during the process of death, what happened and how the selection of rebirth will happen. Those things, it was the research done by Dr. Chandra Mouli, and those things now we are discussing with this introduction session. So before to understand the process of death, so we need to try to understand about the process of birth. About this process of birth, our Upanishadkaras has been already clearly explained in Garbha Upanishad. So we can Google it and we can read about more about the Garbha Upanishad. So Garbha Upanishad, it's a part of Krishna Yajurveda, explaining details about the conception and the growth of child in the mother's womb and its spiritual connection. So the Garbha, the word Garbha, it represents the embryo, means we can say it as a Pinda or Brunam. So the Garbha Upanishad will starts like this. Yad Garbhopanishad Dvedam Garbhasya Swa Atma Bodhakam. So like that it will starts. So it has several sections like section 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. The section 1 will explain what is the human body, and the Garbha Upanishad of section 2 will explain how is human embryo has been formed with the Saptadhatus, and the section 3 has explained about how does the embryo will develop, and the section 4 will explain about what does the embryo know, and section 5 will explain about how does embryo learns through the Garbha Samskar. So like that, the Garbha Upanishad will explain very clearly, detailed. The Sapta Dhatus, we can say it as a Rasa, Rakta, Mamsa, Medassu, Majje, Mule, and Retassu. So how it will become? What we take in the food will become the Rasa. By 7 days, the Rasa will become the Rakta, and the next 7 days, the Rakta will become the Mamsa, and by next 7 days, the Mamsa will become the Medassu, and next 7 days, the Medassu will become the Majje, and by next 7 days the Majja will become Mule, and next it will become the Retasu. So how? This is explained in the Garbha Upanishad in the section 2 and in the section 3. So by day, month on month, so what are all the development will happen for the embryo, for that Pinda, Bruna. So because now we are and try to understanding about the process of death. So because the process of death is as exactly opposite towards the process of the birth, means so the assembling of the process of birth, if we understood the disassembling process of the death, we can clearly explain. So that's what. So as when you free, please go through and Google it about the Garbha Upanishad, and it is available in the Wikipedia also. From the Wikipedia only, I have copied the information about the section 3 of the Garbha Upanishad, what happened the first day, and about the 7th day, it will what happened. So by the 7th day, the first day it will consider as a noodle, and the next it will consider by the 7th day as a bubble, and 15 days it will become a lump, and by next it will become by the month it will become a very hard, and by the next 2 months the head will be formed, and the feet will be formed by the next the 3rd month, the 3 month, and the stomach and the hips and ankle, those things will develop in the 4th month. So like that, in the 5th month what happened, in the 6th month especially the face, nose, ears, it will appear, it will develop, and by the 7th month, very important, the jiva, soul, what we can say it as an atma, so it will imbibed, and by the next 8th month, so all the body parts will develop. So like that, the whole process has been explained, and how that embryo will decide as a male child as well as it decide as a female child, that is also it is clearly explained, and sometimes how it will become a twins. So and twins also, how the 2 male child, how the 2 female child are one male, one female. So like that, the Garbha Upanishad has detailedly explained in the process, and you can understand in the Wikipedia in English also, and it is explained about the quantum plates means more than 2 embryo, more than 3 embryo, how? So all these things is also clearly explained in the Garbha Upanishad. So like that, if we try to understand the assembling part of this, the development process of the embryo, and it will help us to understand the process of death. So please, so Google about more about the Garbha Upanishad and try to understand. So let us, we can concentrate towards the process of death. We can say it as the process of death. It is just like a ending of known, means our physical body, the stula or bhautika sharira, and the beginning of the unknown, means the beginning of the sukshma and the karana sharira. What exactly this? What exactly the bhautika sharira? What exactly the sukshma sharira, karana sharira? Let us understand in a very simple manner, step by step. Then it will help us to understand the process of death. So initially we say it as a bhautika or a stula sharira, that is what we can see it as our body. So what physically what we are seeing, that we can say it as that, so called as a annamaya sharira, means it is from the form as with the pancha bhuta sharira, prithvi apas tejo vayur akasha sharira. And then in the next level we can say it as a manomaya, means we have the mind, means we have the consciousness. Our consciousness, we can say it as a local consciousness. Why we can say it as a local consciousness, we will understand in the next. And it will have the intrinsic tools called buddhi, chitta, ahankara, and the smriti, the memories, the 8 type of memories. So those part we can say it as the sukshma sharira. And again, the mind, while we can discussing, we can say it as a constructed mind. So why we can say it as a constructed mind? So what is its qualities of that mind? And actually the constructed mind, we can say it as a reflection of the pure consciousness with the constructed mind. And the qualities of mind, we can say it as a bhaya, himse, sangha, dukkha. What exactly this we will learn in the next. In next level of the mind, we can say it as our local witness, means we can say it as a sakshi, means I, the nanatva, and we can say it as a atma. So this atma, we can say it as a reflection of the pure consciousness. So what is pure consciousness? Let us, we will understand. The pure consciousness, we say it has a Brahma, means that is the Brahma's reflection, we can say it as. So that's what we can say it as, called it as a local, and this is as a non-local. The local, we say it as a reflection of the PC with the Maya, with the measurements, all these Mayas. So let us, we can understand in a very deeper manner. So how we can correlate this pure consciousness with the local consciousness? Just I would like to give a simple example, that the sun, and in the pot we can see, you can keep a 100,000 lakhs together pot with the water. In the water you can observe the reflection of the sun. So like that, the same thing we can correlate it here. The sun, it is just like a pure consciousness, the Brahma, the reflection what we are seeing with the pot. The pot, we can say it as a ghata, means our sharira. So in that, the reflection, we can say it as a sakshi or nanatva or the atma. Atma, we can explain as a at plus man. So at means it is always taking the progression upwards, and the man means chalana plus chintana. Chalana means always the movement will be there. The chintana, the thinking, the thought process, always it will be there. The chalana plus chintana, you can call it as a man, and this man always try to at, means it's try to going up, appreciation. Etamana anandamaya upasankramati. So this is one of the Upanishad word. It says the man always it's try to going up, appreciation. So that is, we can say it as a pure consciousness, and we are the reflection of the same, called local consciousness, local witness. But again, why we can say it as a pure mind and the constructed mind? So we have the only one manas, the mind. But why we are mentioning here as a pure mind and the constructed mind? let us try to understand those things also. So the Brahma, what is Brahma? If you can try to question, if we can try to introspect ourselves, again the Upanishad Vakya, it says, it explains that Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam, Brahma. So it is one of the Upanishad famous Vakya. We all know the Brahma, once again we say it as a Bruh plus Man. Means it's a vast, it's a Bruhat plus again it is as a Man. Chalana plus Chintana. Here in the Atman is also having the Chalana, Chintana, Man, and it is try to progression towards this Bruh. So that's what this is the Brahman, Bruh plus Man. This is the Atman, At plus Man. The Brahman we can represent here as the sun, and the Atman we can represent here as the reflection of that. So that is the same thing we understood here. We are the reflection of the Brahma. So this Brahman, the pure consciousness, we can say it in the word as the Satyam, Jnanam, Anantam. The Satyam as the truth, Jnanam as the intelligence, and the Anantam as the vast. So usually some of the Westerners, so while translating those Sanskrit into an English, they quoted Anantam as an infinity, but it is not the infinity. We can say it as a vast, the Vapakatva. So like that, more Vapakatva, we can call it as a Vishnu. And this pure consciousness qualities, we can say it as the Abhaya, Ahimsa, Asanga, and Ananda. But when with the local constructed mind, our qualities, our small Atma, our reflection Atma's qualities, it will become Bhaya, Himse, Sangha, and Dukkha. If you can see here, it is exactly opposite to this. Why this? So we are the reflection of the pure Brahma, pure consciousness, but the pure consciousness qualities is this, but with the constructed qualities, we, the Atma's qualities will become this. Why this? Why exactly opposite this? Let us try to understand that also. So once the truth, intelligence, and the vast, according to the cosmic order, it will take action. Means it has its own krama. So the cosmic krama, it will be there, and when it is collapse with the help of essence, with the help of time, the kala, the space, and the causation, karya karana, with the kala, with the sattva, it has take its own order krama to collapse into a local witness in the form of reality, intellect, and the limits. Because the pure consciousness with the truth, with the local consciousness, the local witness, we, I, the Atma has the reality and the intellect and the limited limits. With respect to the vast, we will become the limits. So this, it will collapse into a, this probability has been collapsed into a possibility, and this is the whole concept has been developed and explained as the process called SFC, Synthesis of Fundamental Creativity. This is our first program, Dr. Chandra Mouli sir's research, and we already conducting the online 1-month courses also on this, how this SFC will happen into reality, intellect, and to the limits with the pure consciousness. And with this, let us understand how the exact thing it will happen with respect to the constructed mind. Because we already understood the pure consciousness, the qualities is the Abhaya, Ahimsa, Asangha, and Ananda. But with respect to the qualities of the constructed mind, it will become Bhaya, Himse, Sangha, and Dukkha. So how it will happen? For example, as we come on to this earth, up to the age of 5. So as in the child age, up to the age of 5, so we can, our qualities will be with the pure consciousness only, with the pure mind. So even we are also in the qualities of the Abhaya, Ahimsa, Asanga, and the Ananda. But once we grown up, so the I am, mine, my, so all these things, me, mera, all these things, it will start. So the constructed mind is slowly start to constructed. So at this process, we can say it as the constructed mind. But at this level, from the birth up to the childhood times, we can say it as a pure mind. It is the same qualities. But once we grown up, so the constructed mind, it starts to thinking that I am, this is my body. If something is happened to me, if I, so the bhaya, that is because of, so I am nearer to the death. So like that, so somebody, for example, mine, it's my father, my mother, my husband, my wife, my kids, it's my uh, car, or it's my home. So the mind, the when it starts, the whole process will starts to negative. Means it is in the opposite direction. The whole qualities will become like this. So the bhaya, that is because of the sharira. I am feeling that this sharira is I am. So if I am nearer to the death, if I die, what happened? The bhaya will start. The himse. So in the opposition to the ahimsa, the himsa, because so somebody should not become greater than to me, or somebody should not take back from all my wealth or something, I will start to do with the himsa. The sangha means the attachment, the arishat vargas, the act, means my father, my brother, or my son, or my family, or my community. So like that, the sangha, the arishat vargas attachment will start here. And the dukkha, because as we all know, the arishat vargas never will get fulfilled. Whatever, however, how much we have, so still it is asking more, because of that the dukkha will start. So the whole atma, as the brahma, it will become because of the I, because of the nanatva, because of the ahankara and the chitta and the buddhi, with the smritis and the, it will become the constructed mind. So with respect to the pure mind, it will become the constructed mind. Always I try to feel as I. So all these qualities will become so imbibed. So this is the same thing we are understanding while we are reading the Bhagavad Gita. So Arjuna was in the mindset of the constructed mind, but the Krishna ji was in the mindset of the pure mind. So as with the pure mind, Arjuna is saying with the qualities of Abhaya, Ahimsa, Asanga, and Ananda, but Arjuna is thinking in the constructed mind as with the Bhaya, Himsa, Sangha, and Dukkha. He is reflecting himself as I am this Sharira, is I need to do the Yuddha, is I need to do the war against to them. They are all my relatives. The Bhaya, is I need to do that Himsa. So he is with the parivara of the Sangha, and because of that, the dukkha, shoka. So as we understood in the first part of the Bhagavad Gita, so Arjuna Vishada Yoga. So that has clearly explained what is my and mine, how our constructed mind will act with these qualities and all. So that's what Arjuna to the Krishna ji for the Arjuna has clearly explained that you're not the constructed mind, you're the pure mind. With the pure mind, with these qualities, start to do the war. So usually those activities, when we talking generally, we say it as a karya krama. What exactly that? The karya is the karma, what we are doing, the deeds, and the krama. So we will have that order. As like the pure consciousness will have its own order, the action, and it will come into the reality in the same pure consciousness level. If we do our karma in the same order, we will not attach with that karma. So that is what Krishna ji has said to the Arjuna, do with the karma pala tyaga. So that is the thing we understood from this, from the Bhagavad Gita. So in the same sense, if we try to understand what exactly the Gnatru, what exactly the Gneya, what exactly the Jnana. So while we are reading the Bhagavad Gita, we will understand that the Gnatru is we, the Atma, Nanatva. So to understand something more. So Gneya, what to understand, and Jnana is the communication, that Gneya to convert as a Gnatru with the form of Jnana. So it is the communication mode. So the word Jna, the word Jna here represent as the local form of witness. So with this mindset, so if we can try to understand that Annamaya Kosha, it is not only the Bhautika Sharira or the Stula Sharira, it is not I am. So we should not attach with that. So in this pure consciousness level angle, in the Brahman level angle, if we try to understand that Annamaya Kosha with the Panchabhuta Sharira, and if we try to understand our mind, Manomaya Kosha, in the pure consciousness level angle, so if we try to understand this Sakshi or Nanatva or Atma in the angle of the pure consciousness as the reflection mode, we will clearly understand what exactly this Bhautika Stula Sharira, what exactly this Sukshma Sharira of our mind, and what exactly of our Karana Sharira of this Sakshi or Nanatva or Atma Andan. So if we understand in this angle, the end of this Annamaya Sharira, we can say it as a death. And if we can go forward, go furthermore, by the end of this Sukshma Sharira and the Karana Sharira, so that we can say it as the Moksha. So with this program, let us we concentrate towards the death. So what all the process will happen, how all these things will happen. So in detail, we will study in this 1 month course. This is just an introduction course. And about all these things with the pure mind, if we do our karma, the SFC will happen, the synthesis of fundamental creativity will happen. If we do that karma in the constructed mind, means with the Swartha Sankalpa, we will end up with only the conditional creativity or situational creativity. If we can do this karma in the Shuddha Sankalpa, we will end up with the synthesis of fundamental creativity. Those information, Dr. Chandra Mouli sir has written the book called Synthesis of Fundamental Creativity, and this book is available through online from Notion Press, Chennai. And on this also, Kaushalam Foundation, we are conducting online sessions also. So that process of death is a process and the experience how the Karana Sharira and the Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira will experience all these things. What all things will experience with the Pancha Jnanendriyas and the Pancha Karmendriyas, Pancha Tanmatras, Pancha Bhutas, Pancha Koshas, and how it will work with our intrinsic tools of Manas with the Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara, Smriti, and all. We will understand in a 1 month course in a deeper. We all know our Jnanendriyas, the eye, ear, nose, tongue, and skin, and the Pancha Karmendriyas. We all know the Vak, Hasta, Pada, Payu, and Upasta, and Pancha Tanmatras. Pancha Tanmatras, we already know the Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, and the Pancha Mahabhutas, the earth, water, fire, air, space. So Prithvi, Apas, Tejo, Vayu, Akasha, that is we already know. And the Pancha Koshas, we know the Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and the Anandamaya. So how this, the Annamaya Kosha will move towards the Etamana Anandamaya Upasankramati with respect to that, how it will travel towards the Anandamaya Kosha. So that we can learn in a 1 month course. And the 25 Tattvas, the principles we will learn in 1 month course with the Purusha, Prakriti, the Mahat, the Ahankara, how the 3 gunas. So Sattva Guna, Rajas Guna, and the Tamas Guna, it will act upon that. Under the Sattva, how the Manas with the Jnanendriya and Karmendriya, how we will work. So, and the Tamas Guna, the Tanmatras and the Bhutas, how it is, all these things interlinked. And during the process of death, how it will detach one by one, we will understand in the 1 month course. And the body, the Sharira, what we can say, it is the experience through, already we understood the Sharira Traya, Gunatraya, Avastraya, so Jivatraya, Atmatraya, Sakshitraya, Tapatraya, Dukkatraya. We will understand one by one all these things in the 1 month course of this. So the Triguna, we already know the Sattva, Rajas, and the Tamas. and the avasthayas, the consciousness level. So we can say it as the awakened consciousness, dream state consciousness, deep sleep state consciousness. The same thing it is called it as the Jagruta, so Ichara, Vaishwanara, and as the Vekta. And the dream state consciousness, it says as the Swapna, Taijasa, and the Avyakta. And the deep state consciousness says as the Sushupti, Pragnate, and the Avyakta. So all these things we'll understand in the 1 month course. And the Jivatraya, so Vyavaharika, Pratibhasika, Paramarthika, we will understand. Atmatraya, Jivatma, Antaratma, Paramatma, and the Sakshitraya, Adhibhautika, Adi Atmika, we can say it as a Adhyatmika, Adhidaivika, Tapatraya, Adhyatmika means Adhyatmika, Tapa Dukkha, and Adhibhautika, Tapa the Dukkha, Adhidaivika, Tapa Dukkha, we will understand in a deeper manner in 1 month course. And the Dukkhatraya, the Garbha Dukkha, and the Sharira Dukkha, Janmantara Dukkha, we will understand. So these are all the information we will understand in a deeper way with the 1 month course. So with that, I would like to say thanks for this presentation. And the Kaushalam Foundation is conducting a certification courses. It is an online weekend courses, 1 month courses we are conducting. It's an online and the weekend. 8 to 10 classes will be there. Presently, we are conducting SFC and this PDSR process also. So with that, I would like to say thanks for all of you. Kaushalam Foundation is a registered NGO working on Vedic Science and Psychology Research Organization. It is a registered non-profit organization placed at Jnanabharati, Bengaluru. And you can write a mail with our mail ID, kaushalamngo@gmail.com. And you can reach us with this number, the office number, and myself, I'm Guru Prasad. And you can directly contact to Dr. Chandra Mouli sir also. And sir is the founder for Kaushalam Foundation. So with that, I would like to wind up today's session. So once again, thank you for all of you. Namaskar.